I'm Emma Johnson. I'm the Senior Manager at Toyota for Digital Experience. And this?
I am Toon. I'm a Digital Solution Architect at Capgemini, and I'm working together with Emma on the Toyota project. I will be telling you a bit more about the technical bits and pieces of the platform.
I think bits and pieces is definitely doing it an injustice, as you'll see in a second. But just to move to where we started from. So 3 years ago, we had a different content management system, and this was hugely time-consuming to update. We have 3 brands, actually, that we look after: Toyota, Lexus, and Kinto, which is our mobility brand. And there was huge duplication across these brands and a lot of inefficiencies. We have many legacy standalone systems, and across our 29 markets that I mentioned before, there was a huge disparate systems landscape that we needed to try and pull together so that we could deliver this omni-channel experience we're trying to strive for. And finally, as I said before, these 29 markets all doing their own thing in reality, and we wanted to try and find a way of bringing that together. So what was our ambition? My favourite 3 words: simple, seamless, and transparent. This is something that is a red thread throughout all the projects that we do within digital experience. We also want to create that omni-channel experience and have the actual platform and the foundation to deliver that personalised and contextualised experience for our customers too. We wanted one platform and one process so that we could work with our 29 markets in a way that focused on performance and customer experience together with them, rather than us and them. Let me hand over to Toon, who'll take you through more of that technical bits and pieces.
All right, thank you, Emma. So, what is the DXP platform, the digital experience platform running at Toyota? It's quite a big one. It's quite a complex one. There are a lot of different technologies involved, different services, different functionalities. But at its core, it's composed of several Adobe stacks. We have Adobe Experience Manager, AEM, where we use the sites, the DAM, but also the screens and the forms modules. We have Adobe Commerce, previously known as Magento, where we have the core commerce functionality. This is set up in a headless fashion together with AEM. We have Dynamic Media. This is Adobe's assets delivery services. We use this for real-time delivery of web and representations towards the users. And we have screens. So Toyota has lots of screens running at the retailers. They're all managed from the Screens Cloud, so AEM screens. On top of that, we also have Adobe Analytics and Adobe Target to add an experience layer, a personalization flavor, if you would like it, on top of all of that. Now, Toyota is a very back office heavy company, if I can say so. So there are a lot of different services, applications running in the back office. We need to integrate with them. So the DXP platform needs integration with those. We need information about the cars. We need information about pricing. We need to do financing calculations. We obviously have CRM, right? We have lead generation running across the platform. All of these different services have APIs exposed. On top of that, there is an API management layer that wraps everything, and the DXP platform hooks into that to do all of the different integrations. So what are we running on this platform? We have, of course, the main brands, so Toyota, Lexus, Kinto, also the retailers, the dealers, we cannot forget about them. All of the marketing websites are running on it. Standalone applications built, for example, the car configurator is being injected into the website. We have a whole e-commerce stack, so online reservation flows, online sales flows. All these journeys are also managed on this platform. We have asset gallery, we have portals. My Toyota, for example, the customer portal is also running there. And digital signage. So at the retailers, we come back to that a bit later, all these different screens, the content is driven from AEM and they are managed by the Screens Cloud. Very important, that big black box on the left for you guys, monitoring. So it is important to, of course, monitor the user experience. Monitor Updex score, Google Web Vitals, I think we all know this, but you need monitoring on all the layers in your DXP platform. Not only the front end, not only the back end, everywhere. So you have front-end monitoring on the Adobe stack, and in the background itself. Because if something happens on the websites, they always say the websites are down, but maybe the problem is somewhere lower. Maybe it's in Adobe, or maybe it's in lower in the back office. From a technology perspective, for the tech guys amongst us, so most of the front end is built native in AAM, so native AAM technology, but there is a lot of single page applications, React, being injected into this. So it's a kind of hybrid architecture. Maybe one more word about AAM and commerce. So the DXP platform has chosen for a headless setup with commerce. So the experience of the commerce is driven by AAM. So the design system which is there, the components which are there, the content which is there is on AAM. And Adobe Commerce plugs in headless into that to deliver the commerce functionality. Looking at some numbers, so what has Toyota realized on this platform? So it started around 3 years ago. We started this big project. Today we have rolled out over 110 markets across Europe. There is a rollout in progress for the retailer sites. There will be 5,000 of them if we reach it. To be onboarded on the platform itself. Content editors, 800 content editors. I looked up this number a couple of weeks ago when I was preparing for this presentation. I was curious about how many there are. It's a lot of content editors. And it's not only for the website, there's also content editors working for commerce, working for the personalization for Target. There's a lot of people working on this platform. It's quite a big number. Looking at the commerce itself, over the past year, 12 online reservation campaigns have been going live. They have been quite successfully. I even understood that one campaign, almost all of the reservations were converted into a sale.
It was a GR86, so if you know what that is, you'll have realised why. You can look it up later.
Commerce is active in 24 countries, quite nice numbers to look at. If you look at the screens, so the screens rollout, the digital signage is still in progress. The ambition is to reach 22,000 screens. So 22,000 screens, which you can individually push content towards, which you can individually manage. It's quite a very big number, which we support there. One other word, looking at the scope, so obviously there are a lot of teams working on this platform. It's not just one team who is doing everything. There are over 10 different implementation teams working on this.
Fabulous. Yeah. Fab. So definitely more than bits and pieces, I think. So just some final recommendations before we close this session. So first of all, from a customer perspective, I think it is so easy to get, overwhelmed by that technical landscape that you've just seen. And we needed to find a way that we could make it meaningful for all our different stakeholders. And I suppose keep some of the technical behind the scenes, but still ensure that they know the value. And we've done this in two ways. First of all, really thinking about the full customer journey. So the team that manage those retailer sites are actually a totally separate, different team in Toyota, the network development team. And we need to work really closely with them to build a roadmap that actually starts to bring together use cases that genuinely flow from media to website campaigns into the showroom and really understand that full customer experience. And that really starts to bring it to life. So always start with the customer journey and then bring in the technical capabilities second. The other area I would focus on is performance. So we can all dream about our simple, seamless and transparent experiences, but we need to ensure that they're having that business impact. So first of all, focusing on the journeys that have that strategic importance. What are the strategic KPIs of the company as a whole, and how is digital and this new investment and technology stack, how is that contributing to that particular KPI? And the final part here around performance is to build capability over time. So I mentioned previously our digital performance committee that is made up of our markets, and we're starting to build together through training and through kind of really immersing ourselves in this new technology stack and the capabilities of it. We're building that capability from the ground up, of course, alongside our partners and agencies, etc. But we want to try and build that in-house capability too.
Yep. And then from the governance perspective, so if you are looking to establish such a platform, a DXP platform, to give this customer-centric user experience towards your customer, you need to establish a strong governance around this. Like I said, there are over 10 different digital implementation teams working on this platform. You need guidelines, you need to promote and enforce standardization, reuse. That's very important. If one team invents something, the other team should not reinvent it. Reuse, share that knowledge, very important. Also from the technical perspective, 10 different teams, they might have 10 different approaches to do a certain integration, to do a certain implementation of a feature. You need a very strong governance to make sure everyone is aligned on a similar approach so that you don't create a spaghetti at the end, because that's something that you really need to try to avoid when embarking on this journey. From a technical perspective, like I said, monitoring, really key. Make sure that you know what's happening. If you can measure something, then you can know, is it working, is it not working? Put not only measurement on the front end, don't only look at web vitals, they are very important, I'm not saying that, but do not only look there, also look at your lower levels of your application stack to see what's going on there. Last but not least, very important, and it might be stating the obvious, but we need to stay up to date with latest technology and innovation. Choices that we made maybe 3 years ago when we started with the DXP platform, maybe today there is a different way, there is a better way. There was a lot of talk today about, for example, AI. We need to make sure that we are ready, that the platform can support this. We need to find the use cases and we need to find how can we best integrate this into the platform. And the only way you can do this is by understanding what is it, what does this AI bring, how do we integrate it, explore, investigate, be proactive about this. Right.
Fabulous. So just a couple more minutes where we're going to do a little Q&A with each other. So Toon was there right at the very beginning, so has actually gone through the blood, sweat and tears of developing that tech stack and implementing that tech stack that you just saw. What was your greatest challenge?
If I may, maybe two.
You can have two.
So the first one was getting everybody's noses aligned into the same direction. There were a lot of different teams involved there, and everybody had amazing ideas and amazing ways to do certain things, but we need to be aligned to make sure to go there, because in the end we want to reach the same goal. So that was in the beginning quite a challenge to do so. We got there, we got aligned with this governance. That was one. The second thing was maybe looking at the past a bit too much and trying to bring that, while we should actually try to avoid it as much as possible.
Yeah. I remember actually, I think it was Barry in our team said we need to make sure we don't move house and not clear out the loft before we move house. That's a way of thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. So clean up and then move instead of bringing.
Exactly.
So those two, I think, were the main challenges we faced initially.
Fabulous. Thank you very much.